Welcome back to the Arbiters Seeking podcast. My name is Cannon.
I'm Grayson.
And we're talking about pencils.
Well, currently we're talking about
pencils. Pencils.
Yeah. We're going to go into other things, but we'll see. Right now I'm looking at these Japanese pencils. I have a disability called left-handedness. And so pencils have never been really great for me because I get lead just here. This whole side of my hand looks like it's covered in lead. But there's different things that I can do, like special paper that doesn't smear. Like there's these Japanese notebooks that lay flat. That's also another important thing for me because I have to like finagle my arm to actually get over the spirals.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah, or I get stuck in the crease of a notebook that doesn't lay flat. This one opens up all the way and lays flat like that.
You could also just turn it upside down.
Well, it doesn't really make a difference. I've tried writing in notebooks starting from the back, but you're still turning over a page and making it the same.
Yeah, that's true.
The whole fundamentals of like pencils and everything is not built to work with me because I'm writing towards the lead versus away from it and everything like that. But so this pencil that auto extends the lead.
How does that even work?
So every time you press down on the lead, there's like a mechanism inside the pencil that extends it out just a little bit depending on how hard you press.
That's really cool.
There's also pencils that automatically rotate to make sure the lead isn't blunt each time.
I'm really interested in that.
And that one's only like $5.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been using a Pentel something or other. It's silver. It might be a $10 pencil. It's kind of ridiculous, but I've been using it for 4 years and I love it. I didn't even know about this kind of stuff.
Did you know about different lead colors?
No.
There's different lead colors too, and I'm totally buying into that. So I can get different colors depending on the context of things. Yeah.
But when you need multiple pencils to really
You would. So I'm going to have one pencil that's just for so I'm in economics and I'm drawing graphs, and sometimes you want to put an alternate curve on the graph, and I want that to be a different color so I can differentiate the different
That's smart.
things.
Rather than dashes.
I mean, that's what the professor does.
Yeah.
But it would be easy to understand. This graph and this function is different. Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
That's what I'm working on. Hopefully, it'll help with my disability. Yeah.
Left-handedness.
So today, we're talking productivity, okay? Now, you might not think that we're authorities on this, but check your privilege. We are, okay?
Yeah, I would have to say that Grayson and I are, among the flock up there in terms of productivity. In terms of getting things done, especially school-wise. So.
We're running a podcast. I got 2 jobs, and I'm doing school.
Full-time school.
So how do you think I get this done? Now, the whole system is designed to maximize my learning ability and minimize the time wasted on, being unproductive when I'm doing those things. So just for clarity's sake, because I haven't showed Cannon this special program, what do you currently do that allows you to be as productive as possible as a student?
Well, I guess I'll start kind of from an evolutionary standpoint of my productivity. In high school, I really didn't have to think about anything. Everything came so slowly that it was just kind of like, yeah, this is one thing I have to do at a time. In college, it's a completely different story. I'm a mechanical engineering major. So freshman year, it really didn't require too much of outside of the box thinking in terms of nailing down what I have to do. It kind of came slow. As soon as sophomore year started, that's when things started to ramp up. And I would actually use a sticky note. I use a pad of sticky notes. And my thought process was, if I can put all my problems on a sticky note, I don't have a lot of problems. My
Yeah.
problems are visually small.
Like a to-do list.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
And there's so much satisfaction involved from crossing out something that you've completed.
Oh, yeah. Gosh.
What I have moved into now, it's an app called eGenda.
eGenda. I think I might have heard of that, but explain it
It's
to me.
essentially the same thing, but now instead of a week-to-week basis on a sticky note, I'm able to look through my course syllabi and the schedules and put every single assignment from every class into this app at once.
Does it auto-populate, or do you have to manually do it?
I do have to manually do it.
Okay.
However, me manually putting in every entry also makes me aware that this will eventually happen.
Do you run on Canvas? What software does your does your school use to manage assignments?
It's called iLearn.
iLearn, okay.
I don't know what specifics, like I know what you mean when you say Canvas or Brightspace or whatever. I'm not actually sure. However, I also like, because you can create different categories. So like I have a category for each one of my classes with every assignment in each class. But
Yeah,
I
different color.
I also have a general category just for appointments, meetings, things of that nature. And that's how I do everything, because I like how you can slide over and click done.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing as me crossing something off on a sticky note.
But as far as like notes go or
Yeah, that's,
things like that, what do you do?
there is a
How do you
little
store that?
notes in class or notes for assignments.
Notes in class, notes for assignments, currently working on notes.
So in the agenda app, there's a little box where you can, it just says notes. And that's usually where I put like the times of when things are due or what chapters a test is over, for instance. In terms of note taking, I do all that on paper. I've always been a fan of pencil and paper for notes. And that's how I do things.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That's pretty much it, yeah.
I'm going to quickly, well, not quickly, we'll see how quick it goes. We're going to show you what I do to not only take notes in class, but also take notes on life. Track your life, track all the learning that you've done in life, things that you prioritize, things you want to progress in, scheduling, fitness things easily. This is all to automate the process of taking a note or jotting a note down or scheduling a task to do, making sure you stay on top of doing your tasks, kind of optimally scheduling those throughout the week so that you're not like, oh, I have 10 things I have to do, when I could have been like, I can do that later in the week, or I can do that, I need to do that right now. There are AI-based programs that put things on the calendar, but I've never found those to be super good because I end up forgetting how important that might have been, or I've been like, or I put it on there and I'm like, actually, I don't need to do that. That was not something I actually really needed to do. So I use Notion and the new Notion calendar. A lot of people might be familiar with this. Every productivity YouTuber on earth recommends this program. It's free. Not all the AI things are free, but they're not super awesome right now because they only help with like creating ideas and like writing things down. It's like ChatGPT if you only had just a text example of what it's outputting. So I created this dashboard which has several different little things. Some of them I don't use as much as others. This is the main one that I have. It used to be called the Resonance calendar, but I've changed it to I'm a Learned Lad ever since because I was having problems picking which one for the calendar. So within the database, you can add tags to the things. You can have different views based on the tags that those have. And you can, so they all kind of have just a word and then they have the tags. So a couple words to differentiate what they are. So words I've heard. So this is an ongoing document that I put words that I like hear around class or around around town that I want to learn later. So it's tagged with life learning, thoughts, ongoing. So ongoing is to depict that I'm still using this regularly. That's why it's in the current tab here. But for something more advanced here, you can go full screen. Each little like sentence you can open up and create an entire page from. And so that's not the one I was looking for. Where's it at? Anyways, I won't focus on it, but yes, you can do all these things, and then if you want to schedule it and put it into the calendar, this is where it gets really cool because they just added this. So I have my fitness calendar here. We'll go into table view, and so I have a set workout plan that we've been working on that I'm trying out, right? And I want to schedule it every 4 or so days.
Yep.
But I want to remember what I did that particular day, as well as the program, because I don't have it memorized. So each time I go into here, I open up the page, and I can see what I did, and then I can see what the exercise actually is. And so the next time I do it, I add new, and then I can just say, I don't even need to name it day 1 chest and back, and I can say this was fun.
Okay.
And then open up the page, and then I have preset templates for each day that I can fill in new. So say day 5, which is really just new chest and back.
Yeah.
I have the chest and back exercises already preloaded in here, as well as the cells that are needed for that.
Wow.
With the reps and weight, etc. And I don't need to tag those because it's just a workout separate place.
So that would be really useful for me because right now I've been doing it in the Apple Notes app, and I have to copy and paste each day repeatedly, and then go back and change every rep and weight change.
Yeah. So this time you can track your progression, and there are different apps that you can link to this to actually see a graph of like progression based on things.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be extremely useful.
I haven't gone into it that deep because those are pretty complicated to set up, but this has the capability to do just about anything.
Wow.
So I can put in.
This is almost like an Excel.
It's Excel, it's notes, it's calendar, it's all in one. And the calendar syncs with your Google Calendar and Apple Calendar.
Really?
So when I set the date for this, say I'm going to do it on the 31st, I go to the calendar, I go to the 31st.
Yeah.
And because I didn't set a start and end time, I drag it in whenever I want it to be.
Wow.
I can extend the time that it is just by doing that. You can see it took that long. And then again, when I go on my phone, because all these apps are on your phone, you can open a Notion and be like, oh, this is what I'm actually supposed to be doing today. And then you can input what you're doing.
Wow. So you're using Notion on the desktop version, or I would say desktop version, but it's on your laptop.
Yeah.
Would you say that the phone version is comparable, as useful? Or would you say it's best suited for desktop
It's
users?
best suited for desktop,
okay.
in my opinion. There are, it's just easier to read things because you get the full view of what's in there. You don't have to scroll around. It's best when you set up the systems beforehand to where it only makes it to where all you have to do is just fill out a couple cells on your phone later.
Okay.
If I'm in a place where I need to take a note and I don't have my laptop or like a piece of paper, which I take notes in class on paper still, but I only write just little topic words that I don't understand. If the information is something I already understand, there's no reason for me to write it down. I just write down like new concepts, bullet points type thing, and then later I go in, create new menus in the Resonance calendar here. I'm a learned lad, and so we'll go into my archive because I archived all my last semester stuff. And these are like what I did. So I got those bullet points that I didn't understand at all, and then I went through and looked up actually what they mean, and then read, and then I went through and explained it to myself again. And see that formula? They're different codes. I have a cheat sheet to actually put in subscripts and such.
Wow.
All this is capable, yeah.
Because, in engineering, it's nothing but formulas.
Yeah.
So I see that's a pretty complicated formula with a whole bunch of different Greek characters and such, subscripts. I can see this being very useful for me.
Yeah. And so then I could just copy and paste that if there was a change in a subscript or something like that. You can add pictures, files, cells. You can add links, really anything you want to this page. You just hit dash. You can add in a to-do list. You can change the heading size, the text size, table, bolded list, numbered list, toggled list, dividers. You can ask AI to write maybe an outline for a document or something like that. You can add in code if you're using code, and that'll visually show you different colors. You can change the actual language type too, from JavaScript to whatever it is.
I use a lot of MATLAB, so this is pretty crazy.
And then, let me see, if I go to something that was more complicated, like a problem set. It really helps with organization as well. So you can put in a closable heading. So I have chapter 3, 4, and 5.
So you got drop-down menu.
Drop-down menu for each problem that I did. And then clears it up.
Wow.
Clears it up. I can copy and paste, certain things in. They might not format correctly, but I fix them. I can put the color of the actual explanation of the different numbers. I can change the color. I can put in the formulas as you saw. I can put in a file of something that, like a do file. That's part of the program. You put in the do file. You can attach everything that is necessary to complete the document in here. And then if you need to share it with someone, that if the teacher lets you submit by PDF and not paper, you can export as PDF.
Wow.
Right there.
Very impressive.
Yes.
For a free program.
Yes.
Wow. See, I think my limitation and the reason why I so heavily rely on pencil and paper for most everything is that I don't have an iPad. I don't have a laptop with a adequate battery life. So for me, most of what I do is it's either my phone or pencil and paper. So as someone that's like me, what would be some uses of perhaps the phone app or just some very surface level?
So I'll show you this real quick, and then I'll show you the app. So this is also a to-do list. I have a separate one for to-do lists, and I delete them once I do them. So say I need to get a hammer. I can schedule that on the date as well, on a different date, and I can do different importance tags to differentiate how important it is, and add little notes. Or if, say, I've done a lot of research associated with something, you can link it to all that research. You can link all the research together. You can link different notes together so that you can always access them.
You said something interesting before. When I was telling you about eGenda, you asked if it auto-populated. Is that what you said? Is that something that Notion can do?
I was more talking about the program that your school uses. So Canvas
there is a
can auto-populate. I'm still figuring out because I don't like how it is always formatted. But basically, it syncs with your calendar, and it puts the assignments that come up in the calendar right away. And because this syncs with Google Calendar and Apple Calendar, you can go to any calendar app that you prefer and see the same events that you want to do. So these are the same events that are on there.
Wow.
With the same links and such. So if I were to add information to it, then you could go straight to it from there. But this is The calendar app on there, it looks just like a normal calendar app. You can set different days. You can actually have meeting links in here.
Wow.
You can actually show your availability as well. So say someone's asking when I'm available. Drag here, send that to them.
Wow.
And that shows them when you're available in a day to meet or something. And then you can put a conferencing link in there and just do it.
Really impressive.
Yeah. And then the Notion app on the phone, again, because it's more meant for computers, it's harder to actually see, but it's formatted well still. You can see everything the same. You can read it all the same. You can go to your habits and read them the same. If we go to the workout one that I was showing you, this is how I would access it on the phone. You go to that, go here, fill out the cell, go over, fill it out, etc., etc.
Very cool. I can definitely see myself using Notion for fitness. That's been one of I would have to go back and probably re-enter since May of 23 all my workouts. Just because I'm very interested in that graph setting.
I'll figure out a way to actually do that if you want that. And I can send you these templates and pre-made workspaces too.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And then you can just automatically be boop, 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 since we're doing the same thing.
So let's say I have a fitness heading. Under that heading, let's say I do different routines. Could I have subheadings of the different routines with different progress in each routine?
Yeah, you could create a new view that filters out the old ones, or you could create just an entirely new timeline like this.
But it would still be under fitness?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, just like how I have everything that I do under just this. So you can be like, that's a different fitness program. Or you could go within there and put in different views. So like this was originally just a different view, and then I put in a bunch of pages. You can limitlessly be like deep. You can put in more and more pages and just go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So to what degree would you say that this boosts your productivity level?
As of right now, there's really no in-between time between like me thinking of something and actually writing it down or working on it.
Really?
The only thing that I would say that could increase it is auto-populating the actual assignments from the Canvas program into my calendar, and then I can click on those and add a new page to it and actually do it within
because
there.
For right now, you have to go to Canvas, see what you have to do, and then put it into Notion.
Yeah, but I haven't tried to do that because class just got started for me last week, and there hasn't been any assignments that I've actually had to do yet. So once that starts up, I'm definitely going to be doing that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We use the Pulse app.
Pulse.
Is that Brightspace?
I don't know. Might be a different version of it.
Maybe.
Oh, it is? Okay.
All
Our
right.
cameraman saying it is. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to look in to see if Brightspace and Notion are compatible.
It might be. Even if they're not, if it's just compatible with your Google Calendar, it doesn't really matter. You can bring it out because your Google Calendar syncs with your Notion calendar.
Wow.
Say this was an auto-populated event from, Google Calendar. You just open up the page for like first day of Black History Month. Look at that. You can add in different things. Or you could just change it to be a Notion page. Whatever you want to do. I'm hoping to get an iPad at some point so that I don't have to use.
I don't
know. I'm back and forth on it.
I know
because I
of
feel like it
kids-
would be distracting, and that's what I want to eliminate completely.
Right.
Every system that I put in place has just banned me from doing anything that is going to be unproductive. When I'm at school, I'm being productive, and I feel like that's the best way to not waste your life. When you're resting and you're with people, fully rest. When you're at school, fully be productive and use your time well. I hate when people get together to study when they're not actually even studying the same thing. It's okay to be in study groups when you're studying the same thing, but when you're just sitting together talking, incredible waste of time. I don't see why people would do that. I've never understood it. I go to the fourth floor by myself, get all my week's homework done in like 5 hours, and then boom, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I can work on any other creative project that I'm doing.
See, I would say that I'm more the type, to get in that study group, and it always starts with productive, shared learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that, what's going on with this person?
Yeah.
That it always creeps in for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, we're social creatures. That's completely natural.
Yeah.
You recently told me about how you blocked your phone's ability to re-download Instagram, re-download YouTube, all these distracting apps.
Off of my phone.
I think that's really important as well.
My phone is, primarily a time-wasting tool other than messaging.
Yeah.
Right? And so if I can mitigate my ability to do that, that's the best thing I can do. So I got the code. I changed the code to actually re-download these apps and extend the time on the apps or whatever I'm doing. I wrote down a new code that I tried not to learn it best I could, and then I hid it somewhere in my room because you might need to actually download an app. I know the new work opportunity I got into, I needed to download an app, so I had to go and find it, and now I've learned the code, so I need to put in a new code or talk with a friend who creates the code.
Yep.
But I don't
just thinking that.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a situation where I need to download an app and rely on you and bother you to respond to me. Yeah. So that's why I never went out of my way to do that. Mm-hmm. But now that I have the app, I might do that.
Right. I was thinking the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, amazing tool. Unfortunately, 70% of the time I'm wasting time.
YouTube used to be, because I'm a YouTube kid, I spent more life on YouTube growing up than I did in real life. YouTube used to be like just a really good platform to learn new things in an undistracted way that wasn't as unproductive. Mm-hmm. You go back and forth, you watch some funny videos for a while, and then you go back to, really interesting videos. At least for me, a lot of people just end up watching funny videos. But now, with the advent of shorts, it has become impossible not to just go into the shorts feed because they're ultimately more interesting than anything else. You're just going to be scrolling on there forever. So I've locked my ability to view shorts on my phone, and I automatically say don't recommend these videos on my YouTube feed on my computer if I see a short. I'm not going to watch shorts on the TV.
Scrolling on shorts on a laptop or a computer is just weird.
You're not going to learn anything from shorts.
No.
You're not going to learn anything from shorts. If you're looking at shorts, you're like, wow, that was interesting. Show me it.
Right.
Remember it.
Yeah.
I bet you can't.
Yeah.
I guarantee you can't. People, every person who's ever talked about shorts on YouTube, all they do is like, oh, do you remember 3 videos ago? Do you? No, you remember the moment it goes off.
It's just dulling our attention spans.
Yeah.
And our ability to learn, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Your attention span shortens. It's more difficult to even learn in class or something important.
Yeah. Well, this was a quick one. We could definitely go on further. We're going to probably film another episode after this. Not that you need to know, but...
Yeah, now you do know.
Bye-bye.